Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we have some pretty big PlayStation drama going on right now, where some of the big PlayStation executives are calling out PlayStation, like the big head honchos themselves, and saying that they're basically ruining the soul, the passion, and well, the fact that we're not going to get any more AA games or like those kind of really nice mid-sized games, think like Astrobot, mainly because PlayStation doesn't understand what works, what doesn't, and people are pretty upset about it. And as well, we have a lot of gaming news, and I feel like sometimes I like to cover is more in-depth, like general gaming sphere stuff, because we have Ubisoft news that went crazy. We have things I have the list. We have like canceled like Hogwarts games. Ubisoft got billions of dollars, which kind of surprised a lot of people because that company's been going absolutely downhill in terms of like shareholder price, and obviously sometimes the community reception too as well. A lot of eyes are on Assassin's Creed Shadows, and it's been all over the place. So we have a lot of big news and gossip to go cover over here throughout the video. So you guys will sit back, relax, and enjoy. And as well, we have still been doing the promotion over here with Samsung. So if you guys want to go and check out the links down below, if you guys are curious on the products themselves, they have the Galaxy A36 and A26. I'll have the links down below in the description and comment section as a hashtag ad. You have cool trade-in bonuses too. You have $150 instant credit. You get 50% off the Galaxy Fit 3 or the Galaxy Buds on both the links down below. No obligation needed. That's technically us being a Samsung partner, so check those on out if you guys would like. So we have a lot of news to cover about. First and foremost, let's go talk about the Japanese studio drama. So as you guys know, we like video games. I like video games. And even last night, I randomly made a video that I kind of disliked. I don't even know what I was doing, but I just kind of yapped for 13 minutes. So if you guys saw that video yesterday, I am sorry. But yeah, anyway, I also, nothing that really say, just enjoy whatever I was saying. Maybe every now and then they'll do more of those yep videos, but maybe a little bit better and less on any type of gummies. So when it comes to this one, Suhei Hoshida says Japan studio is actually shut down due to PlayStation just not wanting these AA titles. Now, if you guys are kind of curious, at least from my understanding, we have AAA, which is like Assassin's Creed. You have these big, like, Last of Us, God of War, these grandioso big games. And then we have like, indie. You have like a Stardew Valleys. You have these cute little indie games that maybe a few small teams or like one or two people made. And then AA is like that in between. Like where they got a budget, they got funding, the game itself should in theory do well. They might already has like a studio behind it, publishers behind it. It might be a PlayStation title, but that's more of like just for the generality of it, like an Astrobot. It's like a AA game. It's like a big thing, but it's also maybe stylistically or slightly different. And it's not like those big heavy hitters like an Indiana Jones, Halo, Mario, whatever it might be. So basically, this is a big deal because PlayStation apparently just thought that they weren't good enough. The high levels, Sony's focus on AAA titles led to the closure of many studios, including the Japan studio. And a lot of people were both upset about the Japanese studio, because obviously it's a lot of Japanese games come out from Japan. There's a lot of soul in video games, like Nintendo and PlayStation originated from Japan. And of course, like, there's a certain different play styles. Like you have like JRPGs, longer based games, story games, more indie stuff. It's a big deal. But as well, we've also had closures of other things like the PlayStation London, which is more so focused on VR. So VR users were upset, and the Japanese people as well, the Japanese studio, also upset. They felt like they really weren't like warranted. So Shuhei Yoshida stated that PlayStation focused on AAA games and didn't want AA titles, leading to Japan Studio's closure. Japan Studio was good at making these AA titles, which didn't align with the company's focus on larger, more profitable games, which I hate. Like, I want to hear your thoughts on this one because it's kind of, like, in my honest opinion, a big deal because I don't mind. I want all walks of life for games. I love those big, grandioso games, the Uncharted's, the God of Wars, all of those. You even have, like, the Mario games, Zelda games. I love that. I love it. It's good. But I also sometimes fall in love with these smaller, mid-sized games. And some games you guys may not have even heard of before. Like, I love getting press copies on my Twitch stream, and I want to do this more on the second YouTube, which is why I always tell you guys to go subscribe to second YouTube. I have that link down below, because I would love to stream older style games or make content or just like check out these mid-sized games that people maybe know about, but they never really enjoyed or had a chance to. So it makes me sad because this is like what we want. Like this is like a perfect like hole that's not being filled right now in PlayStation. Every game is a big grandioso game, but I don't want to have to worry about them making $1 billion and spending $500 million and working on games for 5 years. Sometimes I want that $30, $40 video game that's fun for a weekend. I beat in 15 hours and it's just a complete experience, like Astrobot. And I think that kind of showed a lot for the Game of the Year awards and the fact that the game was so well received. It was a good game. It was well made. It wasn't like a AAA game. I think, I mean, I'd probably run it AA, but maybe, for the remake, maybe the first one is AA, the second one is AAA. It's semantics, but you guys get the vibe. It wasn't like a crazy big, like grand showing game, but it was great. So anyway, it's sad because Japan Studio was shut down. This might mean that future games and that kind of soul might be lost. saying Sony and Xbox have been highly focused on releasing AAA titles to sell their consoles over the years. While it was not a bad decision, players got to see the revival of iconic franchises like The Last of Us, Spider-Man, and many more. This has also led to the closure of many great studios, including Japan Studio. Talking about in a recent interview, former Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios president Shuhei Yoshida stated that the studio was closed because PlayStation was more focused on releasing AAA games and just didn't want them. Didn't want the AA games that they were known for. So speaking on the AV Watch, Shuhei Yoshida stated that since he was in charge of releasing first-party titles, he was told to make powerful games to sell the hardware, which I understand. Like, as a business, it's done well. Like, what we know right now is PlayStation has the exclusives, the big console-selling games. It is true. Like, they're not wrong. But just because they're not wrong doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt, you know, that it couldn't have been a little bit better. They have a lot of money. They're like billions of dollars. They're making money everywhere. And of course, you can't just be throwing money away on Concord, but I would have rather had like 4 or 5 AA games instead of Concord, you know? Like, stretch the budget, maybe give $1 billion to bigger games and throw maybe $100 million to kind of see what might stick in the wall. Look at Helldivers. He said the company wanted such things, and when we tried to make them, the scale of development and the sales required were getting bigger and bigger. And we've been seeing this. I talked about that last night. If you guys watched my ramble video, it's just bloatware. Like, it's just a lot of money, and these things are getting dangerous. And that's why Xbox is going to PlayStation, because they just don't have the sales, you know? Like, they're not making money, and it's a scary situation to be in. We're seeing layoffs. We're seeing, like, once again, Ubisoft falling apart, but they're getting these huge investments over here. You guys see these types of things where they're getting like $1.25 billion because people are worried this company's going to go bankrupt. I mean, it's true. Like, the stock has gone down like 60%, and all these other various games, they just are not doing well. And they had to like throw away 4 different games that they spent probably $1 billion on. And they have like 16,000 employees, you know? It's crazy. So, I mean, this is doing okay. That's kind of in the big news. But this is basically a subsidiary saying like, hey, like, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Tom Clancy's 6. And like, that's about it. But like, you know, it's almost like their company's being split off, that the main Ubisoft's probably going to fail. And this secondary one's like the profitable ones. Like, you know, Assassin's Creed, it is profitable. People are playing it. And though, depending on the reception, Far Cry, profitable. Rainbow Six, they're having like the part 2, like revision of it very soon. It's popular. So it's very crazy to go and see that this is like even coming out here, because this kind of goes right back to this, like PlayStation, Xbox, Ubisoft, these entire worlds are like, let's just focus on these big movies, like kind of for reference, like movies, where it's just like, we know we're going to make money. We know we're going to do good. We know we're going to be rolling. But then what about the things that could potentially become the next big movie, the next big IP? Like, it's kind of crazy to see. So he said he further stated that while Japan studios were still coming out with interesting creative ideas, which is what I want, I prefer this, spend the money on this. Like, it's already maybe done at this point, who knows, but this is what I'd want. They were still AA titles, which led to the studio's closure soon after Yoshida stepped down from his president position. At the time, Japan Studio was a team that was good at making AA titles, in the case that it probably didn't match what the company and first parties wanted, basically saying that PlayStation just didn't align with them. And I want to know your thoughts, because a lot of you guys are PlayStation users and general gamers. I don't like this. I don't like that they're kind of dropping these things. I want more games. I want better experiences. I want the vibe. Although the studio produced some of the best and most beloved titles for PlayStation, like Ape Escape, Gravity Rush, and more, these all eventually faded to the history books. It's disappointing to see the studio full of creative and unique ideas shut down, simply because they wanted to focus on AA-sized games. In other news, Shuhei Yoshida says the launch of the Xbox games on PS5 is a victory for PlayStation owners, which I do agree on. We talked about that last night, but at the end of the day, this is just heartbreaking news. Like, I don't like the fact that PlayStation gave up on them. But I mean, we're still seeing stuff like this. And I don't want to say I'm not against more bigger games. I like bigger games, but I don't want less smaller games to make up for it. I think this is a very like straightforward path, saying Naughty Dog is working on a new unannounced game led by Uncharted director Sean Eskridge in development for 3 years. So we are once again seeing, like, almost with proof, like validity to this guy's statement, saying like, yeah, we don't have these cool indie games and new IPs to experiment on because we wasted all the money on Concord, but we have this, which I'm okay. This is still exciting news. Like, seeing new games coming out and new excited things coming out for PlayStation, and like we're also hearing rumors on like The Last of Us Part 3, which I think no matter what will be happening, but there might be a new unannounced Naughty Dog game coming on out over here too as well. So Naughty Dog has a second project in development, and it's not The Last of Us Part 3 too as well, which is also crazy. They're also maybe potentially want to do some more Uncharted stuff. They've been working with Marvel Rivals, which was doing really good. It's been in development for 3 years. This might be a future secondary game to know about in the future. Naughty Dog has a second project that's not The Last of Us, directed by Sean Eskridge. Uncharted over here too. It's been in development now for 3 years. So we're not really sure. Like, I mean, he's been a key creative director too. He was a writer on Uncharted, so it might be something more akin to that. But we also have other various games coming out here too as well, such as the Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet too as well. So we're seeing, I mean, like, it's true. Like, I'm excited for this. But I'd also be excited too if there's maybe 2 or 3 different games coming out there in the near future. And that's kind of why we're seeing Ubisoft want to go and throw in all these, get these outside investments to mainly just make sure whatever is profitable runs. But it sucks because it's once again throwing away the other stuff, like The Division, like other various games that might be kind of cool, like Wildlands. And well, at the end of the day, it is a business, it is a company, you have to pay bills and your employees, and you do have to turn a profit. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you're also getting 52% decline in fiscal quarter bookings, and if we have all this kind of crazy stuff for Assassin's Creed Shadows coming out, we're going to have to go and see. We've also seen some other games too as well, like the brand new Hogwarts Legacy game expansion being randomly now canceled, which is crazy. This game sold very, very well. And also a brand new Star Wars turn-based game. And I think I'd probably really like this. I like tactics games, I like turn-based type style games, like SOCOM, etc. So I think this would probably be something I would like to play. So give me your thoughts and comments on everything down below. And of course, if you guys want to support up the channel, and if you guys are interested in picking up the phones themselves with AI integrations, brand new updates, and of course, huge trade and bonuses, thank you Samsung for sponsoring this video. Those are all linked down below for both the Galaxy A36 and A26 with the trade-in deals. You get price off for your Galaxy Fits. And of course, if you want to get a brand new phone, those are all linked down below. So thank you Samsung for following. Thank all of you guys for checking out the video, and I appreciate y'all so much for watching here in the first place.